Hello everyone, it's Glenda and welcome back to Yarn Swatch Time. This episode is all about the Red Heart Super Saver Fair Isle yarn. Now this video was requested by one of my viewers and subscribers to show how this yarn works up. So let me first tell you a little bit about the yarn, and then there's 5 different colorways. I'm going to show you all 5 colorways, and then I'm going to show you some patterns that are available using this yarn. So let's first get started. It's Red Heart Super Saver Fair Isle yarn. It comes in a 5-ounce skein, 141 grams, 236 yards, 215 meters. So when you look on the label, you're going to see a crocheted scarf, and yes, this is a crochet pattern, and it's on the back of the label. Now this yarn is made in the USA with imported fibers. It is a 4 medium weight yarn. It's 100% acrylic, and it is machine wash and dryable. So I'll compare this to just the regular Super Saver yarn. It's not a real soft yarn, but you can soften this up. Once you wash it and use fabric softener, this yarn usually softens up a little bit. So that is the information about the yarn. So let's go ahead and get started with this first color. This is color number 7245 Bonbon. You're going to see these beautiful pinks mixed with white, and then this beautiful gorgeous blue, and then it's almost like a lime green. Now here is my first sample, and again I use single crochet for this sample, and I chained 20. So this is about 6.5 inches, just about the perfect size for a scarf. So I'm just going to zoom out so you can see the whole sample at the same time. So here's the sample laid out. Now I only purchased 1 skein of each color. I didn't want to buy a lot of this yarn. Now I purchased mine from Hirschner's, and it was $4.99 per skein at Hirschner's, and I'll leave a link if you want to check that out if you like the yarn. But I didn't want to buy a whole lot of it just for samples. But when I started working it up, I thought that it would repeat the pattern. So when I did this blue section, it started trying to create a pattern, but then when I come up here and did another blue section, it didn't repeat the pattern. And then it come up here, and then it had the white pink with a little bit of that pink mix, and then it was going back to the green. So that is what the sample looks like. And again, these are all crocheted samples. So I'm not sure if this yarn was made specifically for knitters. They do have crochet patterns on the website. I'm going to show you some of those crochet patterns. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next colorway. The next colorway is Derby Fair Isle. This is color 7251. You're going to see a dark navy blue, and then the blue mixed with white. This is almost like a taupey color, like a real light tan. You're going to get this bright green, and then that really bright pink. So here is my stitch sample, and I didn't work up a really large sample. I was trying to work up about half the skein, but that's what it looks like. And with this one, it looked like a pattern wanted to start here. It looked like a pattern wanted to start down here. But then it just looked like a bunch of jumbled colors all mixed together. I'm not sure if these samples really justify the yarn. It kind of gives you an idea of what it's going to look like when you work it up. Say you want to make an afghan. If you're making something really wide, I'm not sure if you're going to even get the Fair Isle stitch pattern. So it's just a yarn that, like I said, I haven't really worked a lot with. I think it really depends on the stitch, the design, how wide, how narrow. It's just a yarn that you're really going to have to play around with to get the look you want. The next colorway is Calm Fair Isle, and this is color 7247. And in this one, you're going to see that darker blue, a medium blue. You're going to see that darker blue mixed with the white, and then you're going to see a gray color, almost like a light gray, and then here's a little bit darker gray. So let me show you my stitch sample. Now this stitch sample, I tried to go a little bit wider. This is chaining 32 stitches, and this is about 10.5 inches wide. And this is what I wanted to see, how the stitch pattern is going to change when you start getting wider and wider. So the fascinating thing was, when you look at this pattern, you can see how it kind of like splits right down the middle just by adding those 10 extra stitches, because my other two samples were 20 stitches wide. This one I went 30, and I can see how down here the pattern started and then it stopped, and then over here the pattern started and then it changed. And then when you get up here, you can see right in the middle where this side just looks like a combination of just mixture, and this side looks beautiful with that stitch pattern. And it's like, wow, how can I get this to create that stitch pattern all the way across? So even if I split this down the middle and chained maybe 16, I don't know if I'd even get this result, or if it just formed because of the wider sample. I'm not really sure what to think about this yarn. I think it had a unique concept. It might be more for knitters than crocheters. Let me show you the other two samples. The next color, you're going to see these bright and vibrant pink, almost an orangish pink, and purple. And this is Flamenco. It's color number 7259. Now with this sample, again, I used a single crochet stitch, and I crocheted 50 chains across. So let me measure this. And this measures 17 inches across. So when I did my samples, I just wanted to keep adding more and more stitches to see how this color change would work and if I got any type of pattern. Now with this one, it just, to be honest, looks like you just took a bunch of scraps and tied them all together and was crocheting with them. I really see no pattern in this sample here. If you like the colors and you like the way this plays out with that scrap-like look, then you may enjoy this yarn. So I have one more sample to show you. Now my last sample was made using the Parrot Fair Isle. And this is beautiful greens and almost like a yellowish green, some pinkish purple, some blue, and then you have the pink mixed with white and then blue mixed with white. So here is my sample. Now I decided to do a Tunisian knit stitch as the last sample. I wanted to see if this yarn looked better sort of as a knit pattern. So I don't know how to knit, so the closest I could come was the Tunisian crochet knit stitch. So this is how it looks if you like to do the Tunisian knit stitch. I can see it was trying to form a pattern here. I seen it was trying to form a pattern here, and then it almost created like a wave pattern here. And then up here you can see it was trying to do the pattern, and then it kind of looked like a wave stitch here. But again, this yarn is really unique, really unusual, and I just think it all depends on what you like to crochet and the look you're trying to get. So let me show you some of the patterns that are available with this yarn to give you a better understanding of what it will really look like in a finished project. So let's start looking at some of the patterns where the item is already finished. Now these patterns I got off of Yarnspiration's website. They are free patterns. Anyone can go on Yarnspiration's website and look up these patterns and download them. Now I printed out some crochet ones, but they also have knit, so you can check out all the knit and crochet patterns for this yarn. And Yarnspiration also sells this yarn on their website, so you can check that out as well. Now this is called the Fair Isle Cow, and you can see how that looks worked up. So not too bad in this photo. It only takes 2 skeins of yarn, and they're using a large size US 2SL hook or 8mm hook to make this cowl, so should work up pretty quickly. The next pattern I found using this yarn was the Crochet Fair Isle hat. Now this is considered an easy skill level. They show you this gorgeous hat, and I think this is a really pretty crocheted hat with that yarn. And then here's a look at the top of the hat with the pom-pom. Now this pattern requires only 1 skein or 2 skeins depending on what size hat you're wearing. And again, they give you the hat size for size 18, 20, 22, and 24. So quite a few sizes there. And you're using a size I9 or 5mm hook. So very pretty hat. The next pattern I found on their website was the Crochet Fair Isle arm warmers. Again, all these patterns are free on their website. You can just click it, download it right to your computer. This is also classified as an easy pattern, and it requires 1 or 2 skeins depending on which size that you're making, and it includes 4 different sizes. You also need a size J10 or 6mm hook for this project. But here you can see a close-up view of how that pattern looks worked up. And then over here's another photo of that project. Now this next pattern, we cannot forget our little dogs. This is for the Crochet Fair Isle dog cardigan, and this comes in size small, medium, large, and extra large. It gives you all the information on the chest size of your little friend, and then it gives you all the finished lengths of the project. And then it tells you how much yarn you're going to need based on the size of what size you're making. So just another cute little pattern. And again, we don't want to forget our little friends in winter. They might get cold, so they're going to need a sweater. Those are the 4 patterns that I got off of Yarnspiration website, and they're free to everyone. And then here are the 5 skeins that I showed you in the video today. If you're looking for this yarn, it can be purchased at Yarnspiration. I purchased mine at Hirschners.com. I do believe this might be available at Walmart, but I'm not sure. So check out your big box stores, or you can check out Hirschners or Yarnspiration's website. So I hope this video has been helpful to give you a better idea of how this yarn looks when it's worked up. Make sure if you like this video, you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of the crochet fun here at Creative Grandma's channel. So until next time, happy crocheting, everyone.